Maurice Bay, the helpful trucker here, and I'm gonna show you today how I'm about to change the fuel filters on my 2007 9400 International with the Cummins motor. And of course, you know you're gonna need the fuel filters. There's 2 fuel filters on this motor. You'll see that in a second. So of course, you know you're gonna need both of those filters. You're gonna need a bucket to be able to drain some of the fuel out of the truck. And you're gonna need some good fuel as well, some good fuel to put back in the filters. And you're also gonna need 2 filter wrenches. Here's one right here to change the one filter. And then the second filter wrench, I'm actually not using the right tool for this part right here. I'm gonna be using these channel lock pliers for the second, to replace the other wrench that you need. Normally you would need a fuel filter wrench that's designed to do exactly what we're gonna do. I'll see if I can put a picture of it up in the video. But let's get right to it. That's what you're gonna need. Let's get started. All right, so we got 2 filters, okay? This filter that's in this clear cap, that's under this clear bucket right here. And we got this fuel filter that's down in here. Both of these need to be changed. So I'm gonna use 2 different wrenches for both of them. So we're gonna start with this one right here. We got this top one off here. And there's a gasket on there as well, which that came new. That's gonna come new in the new one, in the new filter that I have over here. So I'm gonna take this and set it somewhere, make sure I don't lose it. And now I should be able to open this up and fuel will flow pretty freely out of here. But I wanna watch it again because I don't wanna drain it down too low. All right. It's real dark. It's real black in there, what came out of there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can tell that it's time to change that. So I'm gonna stick this bucket right back down in here. And now I'm gonna undo this bottom ring right here. And this is really where you need your channel locks at, but I can get it with this right here. You can get your real tool. This is where you really need to have your real tool at. But I can get it. You can get it with these channel locks. I'm gonna show you that right here. There we go. We got that to turn. Now when this comes off, it's gonna be a little bit of fuel that comes out of here, that spills out. Because I didn't want to lower it down too low. Because I didn't want to let the fuel down too low. But as you can see, that's off of there now. So I'm gonna go ahead and spin that all the way off. And now the fuel is starting to spill out on there, which is not a huge deal. What you don't want to do is have it down, is get the fuel level down too low. That's what you don't want to do on there. Hope y'all can see this. Okay, hope y'all can see this good. So here's the dirty filter right here. Let me take this out. And you want to make sure when you take this out, there's a gasket down here, just like it was on that other cap. There's that gasket right there on the bottom. Again, sometimes that thing will want to stay. Let me move this out the way. Sometimes that gasket will want to stay in there. So you just want to make sure that you get it out of there. And again, the new gasket that we're going to put on there comes with that. So set that over to the side there. And here's the new filter that's going on there right here. So this right here, I'm not gonna put that on yet, but it's just gonna sit right down on there. Let's go ahead and put this back together. You're gonna take this black piece here, and actually, it's probably best to wipe this out on the inside because there's probably a lot of gunk down in there, right? So go ahead and wipe some of that out. Gunk and stuff that came out of the inside of here. Got this set up like this. We're gonna take this, and the gasket is on there already at the bottom, right? We're gonna just take this and sit it right back. Uh-oh, let me get my bucket. Let me get my bucket here. I'm gonna take this and sit this right back. And you just drop it right down on there, basically. Give it a little twist maybe. Get it down on there good. And you'll see it start to soak up the fuel that's already in there, okay? Now when you put this back on there, that's got the spring at the top. That's what the spring is for, to keep this whole assembly down on there and tight. Now we're gonna screw this back on. We'll take our channel locks, get a good grip on there as good as we can, and make sure we tighten this bad boy back. And again, you need the tool that you need. It makes this a whole lot easier, but you can do it with these channel locks. You just gotta wrestle with it a little bit. And the main wrestling part is to make sure you get a good grip. What you don't wanna do is strip all of these ridges that are on there. That's what you wanna make sure you don't do when you're doing this. We got that tight on there. Now I'm gonna take some good fuel, some good diesel fuel, and fill this back up. And fill this little container back up where this filter sits before I put the top on there. All right, so the fuel, I got the fuel to about right here. That's why I filled it back up to. Now I'm gonna take my top and screw it back down on there. And again, the fuel filter wrench that you need for doing this makes this a whole lot easier, but you can do it with these channel locks. Again, you just want to be careful not to break any of the teeth that's on there. And you don't need it, I mean, super duper tight. You want it tight, but you don't need it super duper tight. So, all right, so we got that filter changed. And now I'm gonna break out this oil filter wrench that I just got from Advance to change this filter. These filter wrench, you wanna make sure you get the right size. It shows you right on there what size your filter needs to be in order to make sure you got the right size filter wrench. Let's go to work down here. I'm not 100% sure. It says on here which way it turns, but I ain't 100% sure which way it turns, so I'll figure it out. I got a cheap filter wrench, and I'm having a problem getting this filter off. I can't, this wrench is starting to bend. This cheap Advance auto wrench is starting to bend. So we ain't having good results so far. We're not having good results so far, YouTube. All right, let me try something here. I'm gonna see if I can take this towel and circle it around this filter and see if I can use it then, see if that'll help me out, give me a little bit more grip. All right, so finally, after wrestling with this, we finally getting this filter off. But I've been wrestling with it with this cheap filter wrench, man. I really have. But we're gonna have this off in a second here. We got it so we can loosen it by hand now. She just popped off. Same thing with the other setup. There's a gasket that's gonna be on this side, so wanna make sure you get that, make sure that falls off. Pop this up out of here. Uh-oh. We're spilling fuel, so we pop this up out of here. And here's a gasket right here at the top. All right, so we filled this, our new filter, we filled it up with fuel, right? All the way up to, not all the way up to the top, but you fill it all the way up basically, okay? I don't know if you can see in there. I got it a little bit over where it actually goes. So just like it came out, that's the same way I'm gonna put it back in there. That's what I'm thinking. So I hope y'all appreciating this, man. I done got dirty out here on a Sunday with this camera. And I hope y'all are appreciating this, man. Me going through this in detail like this. All right, so we're gonna screw this back in. All right, so I got that new one screwed in there real tight. Now I gotta go back and deal with this janky ass filter wrench to make sure it's torqued down properly. All right, so we got both filters on there now. Got both filters filled up with fuel. Tired of dealing with that filter wrench. Now, when I start the truck up, as soon as the truck starts, as soon as it runs, you'll hear it because I'm going to show it to you. But as soon as the motor turns over, then I'm going to, as soon as it starts running, I'm going to mash my foot to the floor and hold my foot on the floor for probably 4, 5, 6 seconds to make sure that the fuel catches in the lines like it's supposed to. I never had the truck not start. I never, like, that's the problem that might happen if you let too much fuel out of the filter before, when you're doing this process. If you don't want to get too much air down in there, I would assume. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. All right, we'll turn the key on. See how that took a minute for that to take? And that's the last thing I want, is the truck not to start after we do this process. So it seems like we good now. So it's a real simple process. That's how you change these fuel filters. Again, this is a 9400 International 2007 Cummins ISX motor, and that's how you change the fuel filters. Maurice Bay, the helpful trucker here. For more helpful CDL tips, go here or consider subscribing to my YouTube channel right here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but instead you chose to be here with me, and I really appreciate that.